Hi, welcome back to The Collectors. We're going to roll into part 2 of the Barbie collection by Arthur. All right, what do we got here, Arthur?
Okay, this is another one that Mattel commissioned Bob Mackie to design. Pretty much self-explanatory, Countess Dracula.
Nice box.
Nice box. A few reasons she's collectible. Anything to do with Halloween, Dracula, vampires, and Bob Mackie, and Barbie. So it's got a few reasons people will collect her. And this is what Bob Mackie came up with for Countess Dracula. Pretty much he designs like he does for Cher, with a lot of detail, a lot of embroidery.
Just the printing on the box is kind of makes it really special.
Just the graphics makes it very, very special. And so this is one you would not want to remove from the box, because
that would hurt the value.
It would definitely hurt the value. And why would you need to remove her?
Yeah, that's right.
She's designed beautifully
Frame
in
it
the
the way
box.
it is. Yeah.
Yep. So
that's Bob Mackie.
That is Bob Mackie.
He did several things.
He's done 47 different dolls.
Oh my gosh!
He's been commissioned to do for
Holy
Mattel.
Cow. Do you have all 47 yet?
I do not, and I'm not
You're
going
working
to.
on it though, right?
Yeah, no,
Right.
just certain ones. I am
the ones
picky
you
on
like.
what
Okay.
Certain face molds I never cared for, and he did a lot in the 80s and 90s for him, and they used a playline Barbie doll face, and she looks like a little girl to me. And I'm just not a big fan of that.
I get
not
it.
into that
I get
one.
it. That's good. Yeah. Now this is quite a presentation.
This is quite the presentation. Yes. Again, Mattel commissioned Mark Ryden, who is an artist, to come up with a series of dolls. This is the only one I bought because it's made of the same material that I collect.
Okay.
Get her out of the box.
Is that silkstone?
It's the silkstone.
Okay.
Yes. Come on. All right. So this artist does basically folk artish.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? Since this is coming off, we'll take the glare away, and you can really get to see her. There we go.
So what's the history behind this one?
Mattel commissioned Mark Ryden to do a series of dolls. This one he happened to do in the silkstone material, and they used the vintage face.
Wow, that's pretty fancy.
It's pretty fancy. They did grayscale, which is odd for Barbie. Usually she's in color instead of black and white and gray. The outfit is Barbie. Alice's humor in it.
Oh,
and she's even got, if you can see, wings on her outfit. And if you can zoom in, he made Ken a snail down here in the
Oh, wait, this isn't politically correct now. I'm getting concerned now.
Yeah.
I'm getting concerned now. I'm writing a letter.
Yeah. But this is his artwork.
Okay.
And he designed the box himself. And
it's beautiful.
And this is Mark Ryden on the back right there. Getting that?
That's a cool one.
That is very cool. And they did limit this. Actually, they did no more than 20,000 worldwide. But again, because it was done by artists, it is still very sought after, even though there's 20,000 of them made.
That is a big number for a collector.
For a collector.
20,000.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see one of 700 or one of 500. That's cool.
Yeah, that's like the platinum ones where they did under 1,000.
Okay.
Under 1,000.
All right.
One thing someone did do is they deboxed her, derobed her, and on eBay they were selling her nude and the outfit separate, hoping they'd make more money. I bid on the nude doll and I won her, and I paid almost as much for the nude doll as I did this here, mainly because she's very rare. There's not too many of them out there.
Okay.
And you would never know, unless you had that doll, that he actually signed her rear end in a gold pin, his name.
Okay.
And unless you deboxed her, you would never know that it was signed by the artist.
Wow.
So
Now the
I
whole
have
world's
her.
going to know.
Now the whole world knows because of me. I did not bring her. I do have her at home, but I limited on what I could bring. But I did want to at least show her in her box in all her glory.
And that's a beautiful. This box is well made. I mean, this is really special.
The quality, it really is.
Really nice stuff. Yeah. Really well done.
Yes.
All right. Now we got a transparent.
Yes. Now this one came. Mattel has a website called Mattel Creations. They create unique Barbies, hence the Mark Ryden. And they did this one here in crystal. She isn't actual glass. She's a polymer. but very limited edition, very sought after. She's got the wire stand that they ended up recreating the number one.
Okay.
The 1959 doll is called number one because she was the number one doll. After the 6 months, they had to recreate her. This is kind of like the recreation, and this is the stand that they
So this particular mold is the same as the original mold. It's just in a polymer.
in a polymer.
Okay,
Yep,
that's
this is
very
the
interesting.
original 1959 mold.
And when did they do this? When was this done?
It was within the last 10 years.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But they really did limit this to under 1,000, so she's very, very collectible. And you had to be online at the right time to buy her because she sold out like within minutes. And I was one of the fortunate ones to get her.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. Now I know you're involved in the foundation,
Yes.
Arthur, and we're going to talk about the foundation and the good things that the foundation does, and also the convention. So do we want to bring out the dolls that are dressed by someone in New York who does it professionally?
I think that'd be a good idea.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
So Arthur, I understand that designers actually create a very special doll, one of a kind, for your convention to auction off for charity. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And where
Yes.
do you do this?
We do this at our convention's called Grant a Wish.
Okay.
We do this once a year. It's always in April,
All right.
and it's at the Marriott in Livonia,
I know it
connected
is,
to the
yeah.
Laurel Park Mall.
I know where it is. Yep.
Yep, they've been doing this for now since 1982.
My gosh, long time.
Long time. Yep, is our convention.
And it's a good thing because is this they have the convention for the and then there's auction for profit and nonprofits and so on. But don't you also donate a lot of dolls to children that need them?
We do. Yes, our club, which is called the Great Lakes Doll Club,
Okay.
we collect throughout the year used Barbies. They're either donated by folks
Right.
or we pick them up at the Salvation Armies ourselves for
When
a
you
couple of
find 'em,
dollars.
sure.
We find them here in their garage sales. We do what's called spa them, or we clean them up,
Okay.
and then we redress them.
Okay.
We rebox them, and we donate
Oh,
them
boy.
to we donate them to the Salvation Army in Warren, where we have our monthly meeting.
And then they distribute.
And they distribute them to needy
About how
families.
many did you do last year, for instance?
We did 733 dolls.
And they're distributed to kids who need a doll or would like a doll, and there's probably a way
A
to
needy
contact.
family.
Is there a way to contact either to donate a doll or to be a recipient of a doll? Is there-
The recipient, it's basically Grant a Wish.
okay.
It's called auction.grantawishfund@gmail.com.
Okay.
And that's who you reach out to donate for the charity.
Okay. And who who does all the redecorating and designing and putting new clothes on and so on? Volunteers. I would guess.
Volunteers from our club.
I'll be good.
Get
That's
together
it's a
and do
wonderful,
this.
wonderful thing.
Yeah, we have a potluck, and we do this in November to have them ready for the little girls in December.
Wow, that's a really a nice thing to do. That's
It
really
is.
good.
It's amazing what that does.
So now we know, here's some of the designers that actually have donated one of a kind dolls, right? These people here.
People
that
will
you're going to
actually-
talk about.
Actually, these designers here donate for our Grant a Wish
Okay.
mini convention that we hold every year
Here in Michigan.
here in Michigan
Okay.
at the Laurel Park.
Okay.
At the Marriott.
So
at
we
the
have
Laurel
two
Park
dolls
Mall.
here that are from that grouping.
Yes, this is designers Nick and Marie. Their
these
company.
are guys out of New York, right?
These guys are out in New York.
Okay.
Yep, and their company is called Nini Momo. The first convention I met them at, I bought two of their dolls,
Okay.
and he threw in the stands, which I know he's happy he did because
Now he's going to get some
now he's
exposure.
getting some exposure. Yes,
Yeah, I want a free cup of coffee. So, okay.
they really know how to market their
Okay.
product. What they do is they set them all up in the suite. They always rent the suite at the hotel.
Okay.
They set all their dolls up that they've created throughout the year, and they invite certain groups up at a time from around the world that come to this convention. We get them from Milan, Italy, Australia, France. A lot of people come to this convention, and
All
it's
right.
and this is a mini convention. There's only about 250 people
Okay.
at this
All right.
convention, including the designers.
Okay.
Each designer creates a one-of-a-kind, and they donate it for the live auction at our convention. All the proceeds go for charities. Two of our local charities that we always deal with is Leader Dog for the Blind and Camp Casey, which is a camp for children with cancer.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
a good
it's
cause.
amazing. And then there's one that gets voted on that rotates every year that we
That's
change
good.
up.
That's
but there's
good.
three that we donate the money to. Last year we collected $68,000 from our mini convention that got distributed to the three
That's
charities.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
It's
thing.
amazing.
It's a wonderful
It's
thing. yeah.
amazing. Yep, it's all about give back.
And this couple that does decorating, you've had things decorated by them, correct?
Designed by them and created. Yes,
Created, I'm
I
sorry,
have.
created,
Yes.
okay.
These two they already had made. I went to Nick and Marie's after-hour party, which is a great
Could have
thing they
been a
do
blast.
too.
It sounds
It's
like a blast.
These are dolls that are kind of left over that people had already looked at and left.
Okay.
They wine and dine. They have food and booze, and it's a way to use up the rest of their booze
Yeah.
and hopefully make some more sales.
Right, okay.
Well, I did fall in love with these two dolls up in their room, and I purchased both of them from them. That was back in 2015, is when I went to the first Grant-A-Wish convention.
Do you think it would be appropriate to ask, give me a range of, if you send a doll to New York, is it Mini Momo?
Nini.
Nini Momo.
Nini.
You've got a
Momo.
doll, you want to send it to New York. Give me a range on what it would cost to have it dressed.
Well, I'll show you right here.
All right.
This is the doll I commissioned. I used to fall for Stan. That I commissioned Nick and Marie to create for me.
Okay.
Yep. I did this back, this was part of my COVID, my COVID money. It was during COVID, and I had been wanting this doll for quite a while to be made for
Okay.
me. The feathers,
5 years. 5 years.
5 years, yes. The first national convention I went to was in 2015. I won something in the raffle room, and they had a sheet of paper on the outside of the room with your name if you won something. There were hundreds of people at the National Barbie Convention, over 800. They're all standing outside this room seeing if they won something in the raffle room. I couldn't even get up to it to see, but I'm tall, so I kind of leaned over people and saw my name. Don't even know what I won, but I knew I won something.
Good, good.
And it was my first convention. So I got excited, kind of turned around, flapped my arms, and bumped into the sky. And everyone there is there for the same reason. And so we got talking. I found out that he was from Michigan. He lives in Grosse Pointe. He's part of the Grant-A-Wish, the Great Lakes Doll
good.
Club. I had mentioned to him that I always wanted to go to the Grant-A-Wish convention, but every time I went online, it was already sold out. He told me if I joined their Great Lakes Doll Club, I'm in because they put it on.
Perfect.
So it was meant for him and I to bump into each other. We're best friends. We call each other BT for Barbie twins because we finish each other's sentences.
Okay.
We're just
Tight.
we're tight. Yeah, we're good friends. We even got the same Barbie silhouette tattoo on our ankle, which
Okay. Yeah.
didn't make my husband too happy because, but it was like one of those things we did, and it just connected us even more.
Right.
He's the one that introduced me to Nick and Marie that first convention, and I got to go up to their after-hour party because of him, and that's where I met them. Then when they came to our Grant-A-Wish convention, is where I bought these two dolls here from them. At my first national, I met two other designers before I met Nick and Marie. And their company was called OOTB. It was out of the box because they used very rare materials to make their couture gowns.
Again, you send your doll to them and they dress it.
And they would do the same, commission them to create a doll for me. So I met them first and commissioned them to do what I wanted to have done because they used fishing lures and carpet fringe. They made beautiful gowns out of the weirdest materials.
Okay.
I even told them that they needed to get on Project Runway and get known because they would be making outfits for Lady Gaga because, like her
Cool
meat
stuff.
dress. They made things
Cool stuff.
off the cuff, cool stuff. And they agreed to do this for me.
Okay.
So from then on, from 2015, I started collecting my bird's feathers. Every time he molted, I'd pull the feathers out of the cage, bag them individually by size and color because I didn't know what they were going to need, and just kept collecting. Finally, it came to the point where I thought I had enough, and I talked to them, and they said they would make me my doll.
Send it. Yep.
Send it to them. Well, actually, with them, they were at the convention, and I brought the doll
everything you needed.
and everything I needed to them. They took it back home to California where they lived, and a year went by, and I wasn't getting anything, but I wasn't in a big hurry.
Right.
But I reached out because I noticed that he had really got into being an activist in California. He was really for human rights and this and that.
Okay.
And so I kind of reached out and said, hey, you seem kind of busy. Are you working on my doll?
Yeah.
And his partner told me, well, you might want to find somebody else to do it. We're kind of getting out of the Barbie conventions. And he sent me everything back. Well, at that point, I had to reach out to Nick and Marie, who knew these two other designers, who got them started in the world
Doing
of
it, yeah.
designing. When I met Nick that first year, I mentioned to him that I was having these two do my doll, and he asked why I wouldn't have him do it. I said, because I'm not that person. I already commissioned them. And when they dropped the ball, I went to Nick and kind of had to eat crow. I'd say, hey, Nick, they aren't going to do it. Will you do it for me?
Yeah.
So he agreed. And again, it was all over the phone during COVID. I saved myself money by sending them the doll that I want to be used instead of them supplying it. I even told them they didn't have to do anything to the doll other than create the gown, because I liked her face color, her hair color. But Nick's an artist, and part of what he does is he strips the face paint off and repaints it.
Starts from scratch.
He starts from scratch.
Okay.
And that's a lot of his baby is doing that.
Yeah.
And so I was stepping on his creativity by telling him, no, I want the doll the way it is.
You're batting 1,000 with this guy.
Yeah, I was. So I told them, you know what, do what you want with the face. And I'm so glad I did because he did a beautiful job. And but I got to really have kind of control on what the outfit was about. So I wanted the gown to match the bird's body, which fades from the orange to the yellow. So hence the colors of the gown itself. I wanted the cape to be his feathers, so they did that for me. Their own creativity was the face paint. Nick did the hair piece because he said she needed something. He redid the hair, and the bling on her wrist, and the shoes that are encrusted with the Swarovski crystals. There's over 5,000 on the gown and her shoes of crystals.
Wow.
And they're all hand applied.
Yeah, they
so
have to be.
It's a lot of work. He gave me a really good price, and it, again, all over the phone, told them what I wanted. When they finished it, they sent me a picture of it. I okayed it, and they shipped her back to me.
And what kind of bird was it that you had?
He was a sun conure. We just lost him last July to a respiratory infection. So it was unexpected, but he lives on in Barbie.
There you go.
That was our bird, Petey. Yeah. So Nick and Marie always donate a one-of-a-kind doll to both conventions, our mini Granowish and the National Convention.
Right.
There's a National Barbie Convention somewhere in the U.S. every year. And whatever city that the convention's in, they get to pick the charity that the proceeds go to.
All right. Where do you think it's going to be for 2024?
In Palm Desert.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, in California.
Yeah.
Which I do plan on going to. Yeah. But they donate every year, and that gets put into the live auction. And the big players, which most people that come to this are business owners, doctors, lawyers. They need the tax write-off because it's a charitable donation, and they have the love of Barbie.
So give us an idea. What do these go for? What's a high end at the auction?
Well, I will tell you, one of Nick and Marie's dolls went for $35,000.
Wow.
Yes, and she's a big player, and no one can overbid her, and people know that.
When she starts bidding, this other person starts bidding.
Other person starts to bid.
It just drives it up, and it's a good cause.
It's a very good cause, but she knows other people will bid her up because they know she will pay whatever it takes to get what she wants, and she can afford it.
Okay, good. Well,
but again,
it's good for the convention,
great.
And it's good for charity, and that's wonderful.
It's all wonderful. It's all for the better.
Wow.
They started coming to the Granowish convention, I think, 3 years ago. So the proceeds for our mini convention have skyrocketed as well. Last year was $68,000 we collected for our charities.
That's wonderful.
At our mini convention. It was more than National actually did the year before.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So we're very proud of what we've accomplished at our club.
So something I like to ask everybody, Arthur, that's a collector and a passionate collector about things, and they know you know so much about this, and that's important, and people like to hear about it. Someday you're going to say, what am I going to do with this stuff? What do I do with it? Do you have an idea what you might do with your collection someday?
Someday, well, I'm hoping someday to sell to the next collector that has a passion for Barbie, to use it for my retirement. Because I want to travel
Okay.
And I will still do my dioramas. Like I said, I have
Okay.
over 62 deboxed of these type of dolls
Okay.
that I'm using in scenes, diorama scenes.
Now, you went to the Grant-A-Wish, and the very first time you went, this is something that you acquired from that?
Yes, at the end of the convention, all the conventioneers that are there get a convention doll.
Oh, okay.
It's presented
Like
to
a
them
door
at the-
prize.
as a door prize. Yep, it's
Okay.
presented to them at the very end of the convention dinner. And this is my very first one. It was in 2015. They're always themed, and this was called Groovy in London, was the theme of that convention. And this was a doll that they created for the conventioneers. So this is limited to only, how many of them were done? 275 conventioneers were at the convention, and
Okay.
each one of them received a doll.
And this one's related to the convention, too.
It is. This one was a one-of-a-kind by Bill Greeny, the designer for Mattel that comes to the convention. He did a one-of-a-kind for the auction, and I won the right to buy it. I won the auction. And
Okay.
and again, it's a one-of-a-kind, and all the proceeds that I paid for this doll went for our charities.
Wow, that's good information to know. Well, thanks, Arthur, for coming on our show. We really appreciate it. We've all learned a lot about something that we probably didn't know as much about as we could.
Yes.
And we're very happy that you came on the show. And you got one more thing. You
Yes.
want to thank the people where I met you to get on this show in the first place. My ophthalmologist.
Yes.
Who's that?
This is going to be Eastside Eye Physicians. Her name is Lou. She's the manager of
Okay.
both. They have two offices, one in St. Clair Shores.
Yep, that's the one I go to.
Yep, and one in Shelby Township.
Okay.
And they put on this charity for me and collected over $60 for
Oh.
our, out of that
So they did-
734 that we did.
They did
60 of
60,
them. They
okay.
did 60 of them. And I just want to thank them all. And this was, Lou had purchased them all Barbie sunglasses to wear in the picture. And I'm in the background wearing my Ken outfit. And I really appreciate what they did. And I want to thank them.
And I thank them too, because I gave them my phone number and said, I want to meet this person, and they did. So thank you very much. All right, that's the end of the Collectors for the second show. Thanks for watching us. Really enjoy it. Again, if you want to ask a question to Arthur or myself, contact me at bctv, thecollectors@gmail.com. Thanks.